All right, we are back again. So, um, I went and watched JD Builds' video on that oil plant. Dude, it takes a shit ton of space. I'm going to need a shit ton of people. So, what we're going to do is we are going to build some more housing. We should have built, you know what? Let's do this. We should have just built it right off the bat. Now we don't have enough to build that, but we can get it started. And we're going to build another food market. And that we're going to go ahead and build first. Because we need more room to store food. One of the things I'm going to do once this is built is we are going to tell this one to be nothing but veggies. Okay? And then this one, we're going to empty out the veggies. And we are going to make it potatoes. Okay? So that'll move the food, the veggies down to that one. And whatever we harvest will start to go into that. And then we'll get more potatoes. Eventually we'll build a bread facility and we'll make bread, I guess. But right now we got that. All right. Naphtha processing. This is the next thing we need to get done. We need naphtha processing because that's going to be part of our plant. And then we're going to want reforming and cracking, but we don't need them right away. But we're going to need them. So we're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of the chicken farm. We're going to get rid of the soybeans and the fermentation. That leaves us naphtha processing. And then we want reforming and cracking. And then we're going to want these two. And that, I believe, is going to give us everything we need to lay down the entire plant, with the exception of pipes 3, which we want waste treatment anyway. We want electrolysis anyway. Yeah, so we're going to want all of that. So that should ultimately give us pretty much everything we need. Eventually I think we need this, but I'm not sure. But anyway, so that's going to give us all the room for population that we need to get workers. And we're going to activate these two. I'm going to unpause them. And these two, we are going to copy the potatoes into. Well, you know what? We're just going to what? All right, we're gonna veggie one of them. We're gonna veggie one of them. No, we're not. We're just gonna potato both of them. All of my settlers are Irish. In that I wish we had more food. I know, bad pun joke. Bad Bob. So let's turn this on because we're going to need more workers. We got the room, we might as well start bringing them in. And let's turn that up. And while that's all doing that, the next thing we want to do, we want to come down here and we need to move this because it's going to be in the way. Because this oil thing is going to take up a lot of room. So we're going to put this guy way the hell down here. And we are going to set it up right there. We're going to set this up to be the same spot that we're digging the other guy. Okay? Now, this guy has 5 smalls. And he has 4 bigs and 6 littles. And then that's everybody. All right, now we can get rid of this. And they can get back to work. Where are we at up here? As he started. Which one? Well, that's the iron guys. That's the sand guys. Not gonna worry about the sand guys. What are you guys doing? Oh, is this full? Is this done? This is done. It's done. Just about. Got one piece left. That one corner. You guys finish that corner, and the rest of you guys are going to come down here. And we're gonna... Where is this thing? Right there. So if we come right here at level 2 and we go 3 wide. That puts us into the oil. Right? And they're going to start filling down there. Okay, we're out of workers. That's because of the new farms. What can we free up some workers with? I really don't want to free them up by doing that. We can pause here. There we go. That's gonna give us workers. Mind control, no. Yeah, I know, because they're full, but that's okay. Why are you struggling to reach? All right, let's do this. make this part wider, the more you guys can get in here. All right. So there we go. So that's started. So now, after processing, well, we got 24 workers. Can we do the other? Can we run the other 16? Yeah, we can get that going. So we can get our naphtha processing. Now, hopefully, these guys start producing soon. And between all 2, 4, 6, 8 farms, maybe we can all right, you know what? How about that? That ought to give us. I wish there was a. Well, I guess there is technically a way to do it. I could do this and then but this cycles through all of them are on this cycle right here. They boom, ba boom, ba boom, and they sync up. So I would like half of them to be producing while the other half is not producing. And I think the way to do that would be to switch up where we are in that cycle. But we're not going to do that right now. There's just no reason to do that right now. How are these guys doing now? Oh yeah. Now they're kind of going to town. How far over have we gotten here? I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to stop that part of it for now. We're just going to have them concentrate on this part here. And then when this is done, we'll have them come over here and level this out to 3. So we got that all going. This is docked because we don't have any crew members on it. And we're not going to have any crew members on it for a while. So let's start looking at this oil thing. And this is designed in multiple blueprints so that you can stick them all down one at a time as you go. But this one, we don't have distillation 3 yet, which is what we're working on right now. But we can get started on building this thing out. And there's the end piece for it. So let's go over one away from, well, no, you know what? I think we'll be fine if we're there. Because we're not going down, we're not going below the grade that we're at. We're leveling to that grade. So there's that one. And I think we're going to do this in build mode, in planning mode. So there's that. This is all the gazintas and gazatas. This is the storages that are going to come out of this thing and whatnot. So we got that. The next one is going to create the steam, and he's got this set up so that you can just boom right there and everything lines up and turns green, and we can connect that. And he's got this bus that's going to go all the way down. Now there's supposed to be 2 of this one. Or is it? 2 of this one? Yeah, 2 of this one, 4 of this one. put 2 of that one. That's going to create the steam that the system needs to run. Now, until we get this one, we can't put the next one down because we don't have it. We can put the alternative to it down, which doesn't have the 3rd stage. But I want to be able to go ahead and just put that down. We need to ununity something. I think we can ununity these now. I think we're back up to production levels. So let's remove the boost on these. And then what else do we got boosted? We got the iron over here boosted still, right? We can remove the boost on those. I think we can remove the boost on all of it. What's that do for us? We got 4 more boosts that we're running boosted. 4 more that we're running boosted. What are we running boosted? New refugees. All right. Right. I don't see anything over here that's running boosted. I don't see anything here that's running boosted. What do we got running boosted? Is there a way to tell? Oh, no. It just hadn't caught up. My bad. All right. I keep forgetting that this takes a while to catch up as far as the minuses. So, now we almost got naphtha processing. All right, there we go. So now we can do the oil module. And it's 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, some of this is supposed to be pipe 2s or pipe 3s. So it's downgrading it to pipe 2s. We'll have to go back and upgrade those. I don't know if we put the schematic back, the blueprint back over it, whether it will go ahead and automatically do that or not. We're going to find out later. So then this is going to be our oil and water input. This is going to take care of all the oil and water that we need to have come in. And we only need 1 of those. And then sour water. We're going to get rid of the sour water. There's that. And I think that's the extent of it lengthwise. And then this is cracking. Yeah, and cracking goes up here. I'm gonna have to go back and look where this goes exactly. But my understanding, the easiest way to line it up is right there. Or is it right here? Yeah, it's right here. And then everything else will line up with it. Yep, it's right there. So that goes down. And yep, That looks all right. So then that was sour water. Or was it? No, that was cracking. So then we need hydrogen, plastic, and hydrogen, which we don't have yet. And that's what we're working on now. So that's reformer cracking, and then hydrogen. And then these ones right here, and then we can get the pipes. And I guess, well, let's see. Research, do we got pipes 3 marked? We got it marked. No available place to dump products. Who doesn't have a place to dump products? I would say you guys do. What products they're not allowed to, able to dump? Because it looks like they got plenty of room to dump stuff. Unless they're picking up some materials and minerals that they didn't plan for or some shit. But there aren't any minerals here, right? No, there's no minerals here. And everybody is allowed to dump all of that stuff. How are we doing on people? We need another, say, 300 people, and we'll be okay. Meanwhile, I guess we can start building some of this stuff. We don't want it running right now, but I guess we can build it. So we're going to pause. It should all be paused as far as working, but it can be built. Apparently not. It was not paused. So we don't need to pause the pipes, we just need to pause the machinery. We can let all that build. No available place to dump products. What do you got? Dirt. Well, you can damn sure dump dirt down here. I know it's a little ways to go, but you can dump dirt down there. All right, so that's all built. Now let's build the next part. Will this pause? Yeah. No, that pauses the build, right? Yeah, I don't want to pause the build. I want to pause the item. I want to pause the buildings, not the build. And I will put the link to the video for this down in the doobly-doo. for anybody that wants to go and look and see this. I'm not going to sit and try to explain this. It's a little over my skill and expertise in this game so far. I understood it, but to route it and come up with all the ratios must have been hours and hours and hours of work. So I am going to let JD explain it to you, because I'll be damned if I'm going to try and explain it. If I try to explain it, I'm going to fuck it up. But in his video, he goes through the whole thing step by step as far as how the process runs and where his thought processes were, and his backup relief for things and things like that, so that nothing ever backs up or gets overloaded or anything else. Now, this was built, my understanding, back when you could not put the pipe balancers and the belt balancers in the air. They had to all be on the ground. So in this build, they're all on the ground. So they are tucked away in some instances down inside the pipes. So they're a little hard to get to, maybe. But that's because that's how the game was back in the day. I think that's everything paused. I don't know how many workers this thing actually takes. We are going to find out, because we will watch that number jump. Because we're not going to turn it on, I don't think, until we got the majority of it built. But I think what I'm going to do, because he was showing how this thing runs, and it sips water. It barely needs any water. So I think we found a use for this. We'll route it over here and plug the water in there. Okay. And you do have to give this thing a little steam to start it up. But we'll deal with that when the time comes. All right, there's reforming and cracking. Does that give us... No, we need the hydrogen reformer, which is the next one. Which is that one that we're researching now. Kind of fun sometimes watching these guys just build stuff. How are these guys doing? These guys look like they're doing all right. They're keeping up on the iron. Yeah, they're keeping up on the iron. These guys keeping up on the copper. Yeah, they're keeping up on the copper. Dirt, I'm pretty sure we're keeping up on. We're not really keeping up on the bricks, but we're keeping up on the dirt for the bricks. I'm gonna unpause that. And we're gonna unpause these guys. I don't think we need to unpause the concrete. I think we got enough concrete. and our food is coming up. Couldn't store it all. I don't know why you couldn't store it all. There's room here. All right, that section's almost done building. We got to auto deliver for that. Oh, it just doesn't have any. We've blown through most of our construction supplies at this point. So this is going to be our plastics, or not plastics, our rubber manufacturing. I think that'll probably give us enough. Once we get this up and running, we can shut this down and rely on this. Farm could not store low food supply. Now why? We just had a bunch. Now we don't have a bunch. Don't tell me you couldn't store it, because plenty of room to store it. Maybe it's just not enough trucks to drive it. Well, one of the things we can do, we can free up a few trucks. At least a couple. All right, we're getting towards the end of data season. Maybe we need to run a belt over. Maybe we need to think about running a belt over. Because we could run a belt up, over, and into those, I guess. We're gonna let this get to 13. And then we're gonna stop the influx. All right, that section's done. All right, can can we do storage? Would that be U-shaped? Probably. Can we store potatoes in that? We cannot. So we don't have a way to store them other than in the kitchens. Well, sugar. That's a lot of belts to have to run. That's a lot of belts to have to run. I guess if we put we did this, food market 2, and we put a food market 2 here. And then we did a loose lift. And a loose lift. All right, let's do something then. And then loose lift. Ooh. Wrong button. And then if that helps. that should help to get those 3 into there. And we can do potatoes. And then if we end up with vegetables, because I don't know, I think vegetables are flat and potatoes are loose. I don't know. All right, that's still building that, but we just got hydrogen reformer, so we did cracking, right? That was the cracking. So hydrogen reformer. And that, I believe, goes in here. Yep, that goes in there. So then we're going to pause the machines. There we go. There's the potatoes. So that's going to free up the trucks from taking the potatoes from these ones. Maybe we'll do all potatoes in this one. And then if we have to, we can do the veg. It doesn't show how full this is or if it's storing anything. So I guess we're okay. All right, and then we need plastic, which is after electrolysis. What's an electrolyzer do? Decompose the product into simplest by passing electric current through it. We don't need those, though. Well, we might. Loaf. Well, Christ, we're making, I mean, and we're not having a problem storing it now because we don't have the trucks running these 3. I suppose we could bring those 2 down here. Jesus, these guys eat a lot of potatoes. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then, aren't we making potatoes? Yeah, we're making potatoes in all of these. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So maybe it's a field per to keep up. Well, we're building back up again though. So if we were to stick with just potatoes, maybe get rid of the veg, screw them and their veggies. How's this doing? We can't quick deliver because it doesn't have the stuff. Can we afford to? It's missing the yellows. Yellows are missing what? Wood. Are we out of wood? Holy shit. We're running low on wood. Where's our tree cutter dude? Are you tree cutting? Yeah, you're tree cutting. He's gonna be out of trees to cut soon. Because he can't get to any of the rest of this. That's gonna be a problem. Well, we got trees there that we can cut. And trees there that we can cut. Let us mark these trees as cuttable as well. And those trees. And that's going to be it for us for trees until we can build some ramps. Well, I bet they can get to those trees through the sand. But what I want to do... Oh, so that is not getting construction parts. That's not getting construction parts. What is that not getting? Bricks. Are we out of bricks? Well, we're making bricks. It's just getting them over there. Looks like the iron is okay. The wood is okay. It's the bricks right now that's stopping us. Well, hate to do it, but no, we're not giving you trees. We need the trees. I don't know if we're giving you the iron either. Well, you know, we need the bricks more. All right. Maybe that'll give us enough bricks that we can get caught up on our... Yeah, they're running now. plastic. All right, now we need plastic. So once we get plastics, we will be able to do both of these. And finish this out. Then it's just a matter of getting the stuff to build it. But we'll know how big it is at that point. Obviously, it's like here. All right, our food's starting to come up, I guess. Well, these guys are making progress. All of this so we don't run out of oil anymore for a game that we're fixing to stop in the day. Well, if we were continuing on, I guess. I just want to see it run. So, one of these inputs over here is water, and one of them is oil. I'm not sure which one of the two it is. Where did we put that? That snuck in right around here somewhere, didn't it? Right here, I think. I'll have to figure out which is which. Alright, so that's done. Unpause the next section. I'm gonna unpause. Well, no, wait a minute. Where's the oil and water input? So that's it right there. So we'll have to figure out which pipe to hook to. No big deal. And then this is our next build. This section here. But what we can do is we can go ahead and start bringing that over. that'll be our water input. And then we'll just have to bring over crude oil. And we're going to bring that over as a pipe 3 when we get pipe 3. So I think I'm gonna have to let this run for a little bit in order to yep, okay, so you guys are done digging. You know what? Screw it. I'll have you guys finish it out. You're pretty close as it is. These guys seem to be running okay back and forth. We'll go ahead and let you finish this section out before we go down here and start digging. So yeah, I think we're going to let this run and let this build. And then next episode, we'll get it running. And that's, like I say, that's probably going to be the last day. Before the update comes out, because the update's supposed to come out on the 14th. Tomorrow's the 13th at this point. I may squeeze in another episode this evening, depending on how long we get this built, and then we'll go from there. So I'm just gonna babysit this now and let it build, and make sure we don't have any major oh shit moments, and we'll go from there. All right, guys? All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.